Well, here we are again in another celebrated Monday in the world of Monday Mental Real Estate with yours truly, Dr. Michael Freeland. You know what? This is another one. It's another great one. You know, I love doing these things. I love getting the opportunity to connect with people and talk about some of the things that seem to matter the most, and that is Monday Mental Real Estate. My goodness, I can't tell you enough how much I really love having the opportunity to connect with you. What we do in mental real estate is important. Not so much important, but very important. Why is it very important? Because you know what? We're doing things every single day to connect with people that we know, that we don't know, that are coming for us. We have no idea all of the people that are going to come and share the vision that you share in Monday Mental Real Estate. So before I get started, let me say to you all good morning. Thank you so much for taking your time and tuning in on this Monday Mental Real Estate. And what this is, let me help you out. Because Monday Mental Real Estate is designed to help you understand the perspective of thought. When it comes to the perspective of your thought, we're talking about what? The positive and negative contributors to your mindset. And what does that mean for you? Absolutely everything. So today is no different as we get ready to talk about the things that matter the most in Monday Mental Real Estate. So thank you for taking your time out. I appreciate you for being in. But you know what? We're not going to waste a whole lot of time because we got to dive right in, because today is one of those times. Today is one of those days. So before I even go, I always ask, I got to do it. I got to be consistent. How was your weekend? I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you spent time with people you cared about. I hope you spent time with people that cared about you. I hope you did something amazing. I hope that you did something that is going to change somebody else's life. How was your weekend? I hope that everybody came through healthy and strong as we prepare for another week. Now today, Monday Mental Real Estate, standing in the gap of Monday Mental Real Estate. I see you in the building right now. I see you, Ronnie. I see you, Adrian. Thank you for being in. As we continue Monday Mental Real Estate, let me share some things with you today. The thought that I have in the life perspective is crazy, but you remember the life applications that I got to come with. So here's the life application we're talking about today. Do you remember those days of being in school? Now, let me say this because it's crazy. I always laugh because I tickle myself when I think of these things. Is that when we used to have art class? Y'all remember art class? I used to love art class. As long as I got to do what I wanted to do, I loved art class. I think me and Adrian even shared an art class together when we was in school. But this is what's crazy, y'all, is that when we was in school, we remember art class. And in art class, y'all remember those times that they used to stand up the square, the triangle, and the circle. And they would make you sit there and they would make you freehand, or they would make you draw these items. They would make you draw these items. And man, and then they'd make you shade them. Y'all remember those pictures? Then you take them home and you be all proud of it. And you go here, you say, "Here, Mom, look what I did today." And she looks at it. She's like, "Yeah, that's nice, baby. Here, go put it on the table." Try to make you feel good about what you did because you knew it was your art project. And you know, oh my God, let me just say, sometimes these projects were a disaster. But I can remember being in school and having these art projects. So, you know, Monday Mental Real Estate is about building your perspective. So today, I got something I want to share with you, because it's funny, because how things work in the world is not always the way things work for us. Because today I was talking about the square and the triangle and the circle. But it's funny how we can get the square to be definitive. We can get the triangle to be definitive. But, you know, when it comes to something about that circle to be definitive, it seems to be a little bit off. If you don't have a compass, let me say this, because if you don't have a compass, is it possible to draw a perfect circle? I tried. Trust me, I tried many times. I've changed the position of my hand, changed the position of my arm. I turned my head a certain way. I did everything I could to try to get that perfect circle. But this is what's funny. But think about this every single day. Even as I sat here and took a sip of my water, I looked at one thing and I was like, wow, the lid of a bottle of water is as of a perfect circle. Now take a look around you right now where you're at, and you might find just a few things in your car, like the vents on here, the knobs on the dashboard. It's something how you look and you find these things and you're like, man, it's like a perfect circle. Now, the perfect circle is something, because when we talk about the perspective, we're talking about your mentality, your life, what you're dealing with. It's something how we're born into this world We can't see. But the first thing you do is you come out. And the minute you come out, guess what? You are on your circle. It's something because once you become born into this life, you can't see. It takes a minute to get the eyes to focus. It takes a minute. And a lot of times as new parents, what's the first thing we're looking for when it comes to our children? I know that we look for the 10 fingers and the 10 toes, but one of the most important things that we want to see that really ensures life is the vision. So you got to open your eyes. And then once you open your eyes, guess what? You might see, but you don't understand a whole lot of things around you. Matter of fact, you don't understand anything. You just hear. And as you keep living this life now, I said you're on your circle, because just as the process is to begin life, you open your eyes, you can't see anything. People smiling in your face, kissing you all on your cheeks, holding you, shaking you, loving on you, and you have no clue what's going on. And it's something how you get older, and as you continue to get older and you continue to grow, you start to realize some things, that there's some things I can feel, things I can touch. I don't know what these are, but these are hands, but I don't understand what a hand does, because right now I can't quite understand what to do with them. But I just know that if I reach out and I grab this, I can move it. But you're on your circle. But as I get older, if I move something around and I knock something over, it's going to make a noise. Oh, so this is something that's different, that's new. And as we grow, we start to realize that there are things about this circle. And then remember those times of being stood up to walk when they're trying to teach you how to walk. When you try to teach your kids how to walk, you put them on their feet and you kind of help them out. You hold them by the hands and they take one step, they take 2 steps, and you right there, and eventually you do what? You try to let them go. Just a little bit. And as you let them go, they take that first step. Now, I ain't even going to ask you how many of y'all cried when you saw your child take the first step, because I know what it meant as a parent to see your child begin to develop, begin to grow. You know why? Because they're on their circle. Now, in this circle that I'm talking to you about today, this is your Monday Mental Real Estate, building the perspective of your thought. Check this out. What is it about the circle? Now, here it is. I was talking to you just a second ago about all of the things you can look around in your immediate area right now, and how many circles do you see? It's something how the circle forms. But listen, you think about this. Look outside your door right now at the moon. If you're up and available and the moon is out in the sky, if you look right now at the moon, it is as of a complete circle. And notice something else. Every time you see a vision of the earth from space, it is as a complete circle. If you look at the planets that they have aligned, and you see that all of the creation out in space is out there, when they show those planets, it is as of a complete circle. But let's dig on the inside for a second, because even when we talk about when it comes to the human anatomy and the blood cells that you carry in your body that helps to keep this thing alive, even the red blood cells that are in your body that move and circulate the blood, keeps your heart pumping, keeps your organs moving, all of these blood cells in your body of the red blood cells are as of a complete circle. Mental real estate. If I take this pen and I give this pen to you and I say, now draw me a complete circle. A lot of us can't draw a complete circle. But why is that we see so many things in creation that happen as of a complete circle? So many things that we see other people create through machines, however they do it, we have no idea that they have the ability to create a complete circle. But when it comes to you, even down on the inside, you carry the complete circle. But if I hand you this pen right now and I said, take this pen and just draw me a complete circle, you're going to find that circle may be complete, but it's not perfect. Now, why am I telling you this on your Monday Mental Real Estate about this circle thing that we're talking about? Because you know what? In the circle of what we call life, no, this ain't the Lion King, so get over that. Don't sing no song. Don't do none of that. I'm just trying to help you today in this circle. It's funny how it seems like it takes somebody else to draw your circle. That's funny because even though you have the ability, you have the mental fortitude, you cannot, in good conscience, just draw free-handed a complete circle. But you know what? What I learned about the circle is it has, you would think that I would say it would have 2 points of reference, but it only has one. The circle has 1 point of reference. It has a point of beginning and it has what? A point of ending. But you know what's crazy is that even though I can speak on a point of beginning and a point of ending, you would think that I would say there are 2 reference points to a circle. But guess what? It's not. Because where you start is eventually where you're going to end. Now this is crazy because in the mentality of life, we're talking about your circle. Not mine, because I could be reminded of my mother telling me, my grandpa telling me, you know, when you get older, you'll be able to count all your true friends on one hand. But this ain't about friendship. No. This is about you and in the mentality that you carry when it comes to the circle. As I say, stay on your circle. Because your circle is going to take you places. Your circle is going to do things. Your circle is going to disappoint you. Your circle is going to hurt your feelings. Your circle is going to begin to mess with your health. Your circle is going to heal you. Your circle is going to develop your mind. Your circle is going to break your mind. Your circle is going to help you stand, and your circle is going to help you to fall. Your circle is going to do so many different things you don't understand when I talk to you about stay on your circle. Because your circle is very, very powerful. But why is it? Because your circle is necessity. Your circle is development. Your circle is growth. But what is it about the circle that causes me to tell you to stay on your circle? Because as life lived is life given. As I was telling you earlier, it's funny how when we begin to get into this world and we step into this life, we can't really see. We don't have the ability of vision just yet. We got it, but it's not there because everything's too bright. It's not quite where it needs to be because, you know, it's funny as we begin to move and we begin to flail, our muscles are coming into play, and now we're starting to do things, we're reaching, we're grabbing for things, but we don't even understand our extremities yet because you are just beginning on your circle. But let me help you. Just as I said, every single one of those things, as you live this life in the fullness that it is given to you, as God grants you the days ahead, remember one thing about this circle. It has a point of beginning. And as you go along this circle, yeah, you wonder why you don't have a complete circle? Some of us got mountains in that circle. Some of us have valleys in that circle. Some of us are underwater in that circle. Some of us are above the clouds on that circle, but you are on your circle. So stay on your circle. Because as you go through life, you're going to find out a lot of things about what it means to be on your circle. You think for some reason that you are the person to be eluded issues. You think you're the one who has to avoid subjected pain to you. You are the person who seems to think that, oh no, this could happen to somebody else, but why me? You seem to think that ailment is not going to come for you. I don't get sick. But you also seem to think life is forwarded for me and me only. And you know what? If anybody else is in my way, they're going to have to move because I got things to do. But you on your circle. And let me tell you about this circle. You wonder why if I hand you this pen, I said, draw me a circle. You can't do it. It's funny how it takes everything else around you to create a circle. But you can't do it. Everything that's inside of you is formed by that circle that helps the body move, helps the body survive, formed by that shape of a circle. But if I hand you this pen, you cannot do it. Why? Because the mentality of your mental real estate is looking for a reference point. And in your reference point, let me help you with something today. Wow, I'm not trying to be emotional, I'm just trying to talk to you. But let me help you with this reference point. Because just as we have a beginning, we're going to see the end. Did you hear what I said? Just as we have a beginning, I said we're going to see the end. I didn't say we're going to get to the end. Listen to what I'm telling you today. You're going to see the end, because it's funny as long as we see a lot of things ahead of us, we're not looking in the rearview mirror, are we? We don't look the same. It doesn't look the same. The vision doesn't appear the same when you start to realize that you've passed up your point of beginning. You've made your tracks around that circle. And as you've made your tracks around that circle, you developed, you grew as a child, you had an opportunity to spend time with your loved ones, you got to love and hug and kiss on your grandpa, your grandma, and guess what? One day you decided when you got out of school, I'm going to start having me a family, I'm going to have me some kids. Even if you didn't decide, you was pressed into the point of life. From that point of beginning, as you continue to move around your circle, guess what? Now you started to see your grandmother get old, your grandpa get old. You started to see the people that you love get old, the people that loved and helped you and nurtured you all the way through this point. They start to turn the corner, and they're on their circle. And you don't understand a lot of times. And let me tell you, because a lot of people don't. As much as you get it, there are so many people that do not get the circle. But when you stand on your circle, guess what happens? You start to realize you are on that circle. We look, and it's easy to reflect, and it's easy to see those times and those moments with those people that we loved, that we missed, that have moved on, they're not here anymore, and we saw them on their circle. But I said one thing to you: stay on your circle. Let me ask you a question. How many of you wondered where time went? How many of you have looked up one day and just realized, you know what? I can still remember my middle school teacher's name. Wow. I can still remember my first crush. Wow. How many times have you sat back and reflected on your life and you didn't even understand you was on your circle? See, when we get to that point, that reference point, as I said before, the reference point is not two. It's a point of beginning and it's a point of end. But you didn't notice me go from up here to down here. I said it's a point of beginning and it is a point of end. Because as you get to that point and that place in your life, as you reach that end, as I said, you will see the end. Pay attention. Because life is going to show you what the end could look like based off of your reference point. Your reference point will develop you. Your reference point will show you. Your reference point will teach you. Your reference point will make you. Your reference point will break you. Your reference point will put you back together again. Your reference point will allow you to experience. Your reference point will move you to a place. But you know what's most important? Your reference point is only one. Because just as I got done explaining to you what it was like to be born, to step out here into this world, to smile for the first time, to take those first steps for the first time, to eat that solid food for the first time. Y'all remember those days when you fed your child that first meal of table food? Oh my goodness. Did they try to tear your arm off? I gotta say this, y'all remember those days of table food, applesauce, mashed potatoes? When you gave that child that first bite of table food, did they try to tear your arm off? But let me get back to it, because the fact is this. We talked about all those things that mean so much to us in our point of beginning. But as we get closer to that point of ending, you start to notice something. You start to notice that the steps get a little shorter. The steps get a little shorter. The balance isn't what it used to be. You start to notice that the eyes don't see like they used to. You start to realize the appetite isn't what it used to be. you start to realize that the words get a little shorter. And do you know why the words get a little shorter? Because at that point in life on your circle, everything that you say becomes intentional. And that's one thing that people need to understand, that as we get older, that along this circle, your words mean more with less to say, because you speak with intention every single day. Listen to me. Just as I said that, we find ourselves back in the crib. When we was babies, we was in that crib. You had to holler for somebody to come and get you. You had to make some noise so that somebody knew you was around. But as we get older, we experience the same thing. We need somebody to look for us. We need somebody to look after us. And after a while, your words become just a look. You don't have anything left to say. You lay there. Your loved ones may be there with you. They may not. But you lay there with no words, only expressions. And the thing is that they've lived on that circle for so long. They've stayed on their circle their entire life, that by the time you see them on that circle, as they see the end of their circle, you don't need them to say anything, because you know every expression, what they want to say from their face. And when they can no longer move their face anymore, they just move their eyes. They just look at you. And even as you watch them through that process on their circle, you realize they're going to meet their point of reference. Mental real estate is about helping you understand the perspective of your thought when it comes to the circle. Because as I stand, as you sit, as you stand, as you sit, we have to understand there's a point of reference. But listen, everything in this world can be created by a reference point. The circle. The circle built the universe. The circle built this earth. The circle that we experience every single day. The circle that we live through every single day. The things that we see created around us every single day that portray and show you the circle. But if I have anything to say to you on today, stay on your circle. This is not about me saying to you, mind your business, because a lot of people think differently. Let me help someone. This is not about minding your business. This is about staying on your circle, because if you keep playing around with that circle that you on, just because you don't acknowledge the circle doesn't mean you standing on a square. You are not getting out of what we call this circle, because there are 2 points of reference: the beginning and the end. How you draw your circle is going to be essential in understanding how your life is going to be. How your circle shapes up for you is going to help you understand the peaks and the valleys. It's going to help you grasp the concept of what it means to love and what it means to have lost. It's going to help you shift your mentality from understanding the sacrifice to the living. It's going to help you better yourself when it comes to knowing the contribution that you have to give in this life, all that you live, and the intention that is meant behind your words. Your words are powerful. Your words mean everything. When I talk to you about your words, they are substantial. They are not to be dismissed, because if they are dismissed, somebody's going to be missed. So today's Monday Mental Real Estate is simple. Stay on your circle. Your circle is going to cause you one day to look back and say, man, where did the time go? It's going to cause you one day to just rub your hands together and say, this is one heck of a journey. But you know one thing? Take the journey, because you don't have a choice anyway. Live this life because you don't have a choice anyway. Be with the people you love while you have a choice. Take care of the ones that took care of you because you have a choice. Continue to grow and develop the ones you care about and give them the choice. Because as we live this life, as we understand more about this thing we call mental real estate, you're going to find out along this road that there are only 2 points of reference: the beginning and the end. And as you can see the end, remember your point of reference, because guess what? Mama, I'm coming home. Daddy, I'm coming home. Son, daughter, family members and friends, I'm coming home. And when it comes to the light that shines on my face, let it brighten your day just a little bit more. Hey, look, I'm Dr. Michael Freeland, wanting to come in and share a little bit of perspective of Monday Mental Real Estate, helping you understand more about the thoughts that we have, why we have them, and why it's so important to understand the perspective behind your thought. Because your circle is not mine, and my circle is not yours. But one thing is true, 2 things for certain. You will stay on your circle. In this journey, continue your progress. Continue to be the best. Continue to add the value that is needed to so many people's lives, because they need you. And not only do they need you, they need what you got. So God bless you all. Thank you all for taking your time to spend with Dr. Michael Freeland on this Monday Mental Real Estate. Let me shout some people out. Mom Barry, God bless you. Thank you, brother. I see you in here. Ronnie Tisdale, what's going on? I see you. Thank you for your support. Arlene Collins Wilson, Tuesday night. Y'all better tune in. Remember that name. Type that in, Arlene Collins Wilson, because you know what? She's always giving a powerful, powerful word every Tuesday night. As I do mine on Mondays, she goes on Tuesdays. Make sure you tune in to her, because she is very special. Jesse Nyambu, all the way in Kenya. I'll see you soon, my friend. We have so much work to do. This is my assistant that helps me all the way across the water, y'all. With all the donations you give, Jesse Nyambu is the one who helps to organize and structure what Mental Real Estate does in the country of Kenya and all of East Africa. Let's keep this thing going, y'all. Who else we got in here? Oh, Miss Locust, what's going on? I see you. Thank you for being in here. It's always good to have you, my friend. I appreciate you. My brother Adrian Revels, thank you so much. Man, listen, if I missed anybody, please charge it to the head and not the heart, because I love all of you, and I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to do what's best for them. Felicia McGlory, I see you. Thank you for being in here. I appreciate you through all of the support, through all of the years. It means so much. So continue to do what we do, and let us continue to grow so we can go. God bless you all. Have yourself a safe day, a blessed week, and continue to stay on your circle. Take care, guys, and we'll talk again soon, all right? Have a good one. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey.